Okay, so this part of the video is going to be pretty chatty. I may be repetitive in my word choice, or I might go on tangents, so I apologize. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud, trying to scramble everything that's on my mind, because I have a lot on my mind. Anyways, so yeah, this part is reasons why I'm downsizing. And the main reason, honestly, I feel like I mentioned this before, but it's the adulting life. I'm 20. I'm going to be turning 21 this year. Um, and I'm entering my third year as a university student. And the third year is a very important year. And honestly, as I'm growing older, reflecting, thinking about my collection, at this age, me personally, I have way more priorities outside of collecting. And I have way more responsibilities. So I have to manage my money responsibly. And as well as focus on my career, like what I want to do. Yeah, there's just way more important priorities and things that I need to focus on, and I have been tending to focus on more things besides K-pop. I have been having less time to look into K-pop, keep up with my groups. But yeah, adulting is the main reason. I currently stan 9 groups. I consider myself part of 9 fandoms. It used to be way more. I did kind of talk about it in like a previous video, like a talking update. I forgot what the video's called, but I was drinking boba. Anyways, okay. Yeah, so I consider myself only part of the fandom of 9 groups, and honestly, I think my current collecting I think it was collecting like every single album, one version each per comeback for 7 out of 9 groups, I think, or maybe even 8 out of 9 of the groups. And honestly, after like collecting a lot over the years, I got into K-pop. It's been 6 years since I've discovered K-pop, and I started collecting 4 years ago, I think. Yeah, 4 years ago, back in 2019. And yeah, just looking back at my collection, I have downsized before, stopped collecting some groups. Um, yeah, anyways, hold on, I cannot think. My brain's just like, I made a list, but of like some things to mention, but I cannot think. I don't know how to word it. Okay, I'm rambling. Yeah, so that's a pretty big number of groups for me personally, for like groups collecting like every single release. And honestly, for a lot of these groups, it started to become or feel like a chore for me. Like once a group announced a comeback, I'd feel like, oh man, I have to buy this. Like even if I didn't like the comeback as much, I had that feeling or like need of completion to like have every single album, I guess, release of theirs to feel like, I guess, satisfied. I don't know if satisfied is the right word, but I tended to look for completion a lot. And honestly, because of that, I had less enjoyment buying albums. Like when I would get an album for that group, like the newest album, I wouldn't feel like excited to have it. Well, like of course I'd be excited to have it because it's in my collection now and it's growing, helping my collection. But when I went to buy those albums, it felt more like oh, I had to buy it, like as a necessity, like not as more like, I don't know. I just collecting albums for certain groups, it just didn't feel the same anymore. Like there wasn't that excitement to go search for an album and buy it. Like honestly, I feel like the last few times I went to K-pop stores to buy albums or just look online, I would honestly have the my album checklist of like the list of each group that I'm collecting and the checklist for all of their albums. And honestly, the last few times I would go, I would just look through the list, like, oh, let me see if they have this, like things like that. So it literally felt like I was checking off a to-do list or like a chore list, as if it was like grocery shopping, I guess. Like, is grocery shopping fun? Possibly, but you know, most of the time it's like a chore that you have to do. Yeah. So that's how it feels currently for like a lot of groups. So that kind of took away my enjoyment in collecting albums for certain groups. Other reasons it connected to yeah, once again, not enjoying like majority of the track list. Like, even if I didn't enjoy majority of the track list, I still felt like I needed to buy it. So I bought it and collected it. So yeah. And there's just been like a lot going on. Not a lot going on in the K-pop world. I don't know. I've just like, ever since I started summer, I've just been thinking about life, reflecting. Just yeah, reflecting on my collection, life. Yeah. Okay. Tangent. My bad. Um, but yeah, just like once again, yeah, it just doesn't feel the same anymore for some groups. For me personally, like I have nothing against them, nothing against the groups. Like, of course, I love their music still, but like collecting their albums physically kind of took away the enjoyment for those groups. But I still like those groups. You know what I mean? You get what I mean? I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, let me know. For my future collecting plans, so since I currently stan in my terms, 9 groups, this, okay, so how I view it is me liking, if I stan a group, um, my definition has changed personally, because it used to be like 30 groups or whatever, but, for me, but, yeah, so now my definition, now that it's downsized, with the groups over the years, pretty much, you know, I like majority of the music and the members, of course, as well as keep up with them, like all of their content. So yeah, that's went down to 9. And for groups that I used to stan, I still love them so much. Like the members, their music, like I still listen to their music. I just don't consider myself part of the fandom anymore. But anyways, for those 9 groups. So since I stan 9 groups, I don't know if I'll put like a list on the side or like it's in my card as well. But yeah, for future album collecting plans, I cannot talk. I'm running on little sleep as well. But yeah. Yeah. Hold up. Okay. Future collecting plans. So out of those 9 groups, I'm only going to be collecting every single album, one version each, for my top 3 groups. Now, top 3 groups, you may be thinking, what if it changes? That is true. However, for my top 3 groups, I feel like I've been like analyzing everything, like making it into different categories, which deciding, also how I personally feel, like in the heart, for my top 3 groups. But, yeah, I've just like making a list. Okay, so this is how I determine my top 3 groups. One is pretty much, since I've been listening to K-pop for the last 6 years, which groups have had the most impact on me, have been like the most special to me, I guess who have helped me a lot, through hard times, the ones that make me happiest the most. Like, of course, a lot of music from all of my groups make me happy. But which ones out of all of them? My favorites out of my favorites, you know? Like that. My olds, of Olds? Of Olds? I don't know how to pronounce, or I don't know what the wording is. But yeah, which ones have impacted me the most and the most special to me? Like, even after over many years, which ones will I always come back to, or which ones will be like the most memorable to me, like when I'm older and looking back in the past. As well as like enjoying like pretty much majority of the music. Like, well, of course I do that for all of the groups I stand. But like, yeah, just like, oh yeah, how their music has impacted me. Like, which group's music has impacted me the most. How, like, their lyrics, their messages. Like, there's a couple of groups where their songs and lyrics, their discography, a lot of it has a deep meaning and I can connect to them. Like that. Yeah, there. I think that's what I meant. Yeah, that. As well as the members themselves. Of course, none of us know how everyone or like any celebrity in general, not even K-pop related. We don't know how they are, you know, personally, but out of like how we know them, um which members, you know, have like I don't know if helped is the right word, but like which members have most impacted or influenced. I'm not sure if these are any of the right words, but I hope you understand what I mean. But yeah, so taking in account with the members as well, that's how I determine my top three. Also, how, yeah, which ones are most special to me. Like, no matter what over the years, which ones will always have that special place in my heart and that I always come back to. Or that are always there, that I pay attention to the most as well. Like, the most out of all of them. Like, of course, I have memories of every single group, like even the ones I don't stand anymore. I have a memory from every one of them. But which one most? Which one's the most? Yeah, I think that's what I mean. I hope you understand. I feel like I'm rambling, but I suck at explaining things. But yeah, I think, yeah, those are like how I'm determining my top three. Like, before I decided to choose top three, hold up, I'm blanking out. So actually, how I came up with collecting only my top three, I did have a talk with my dad, like, about life. So he was the one who recommended me to only collect my top three groups. Just based on like, yeah, just on what we talked about in life. But yeah. So for the top three groups, what was I gonna say besides that? Yeah, so that's how I determine my top three groups. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh yeah, so before I just, you know, was recommended to maybe collect only my top three groups, I already had some groups in mind. Like, no matter what, they've always been like very, very special place in my heart. So currently, the ones I decided to keep is for sure 17. Like 17, they will always be my number one. So 17 is my number one, who I will be continuing to collect every single release and one version each release. Another group that is very special to me as well, who's helped me a lot with the criteria that I mentioned, is Stray Kids. They've helped a lot during some hard times in my life, and all of these members, a lot of them like home, like another family. That's how they feel with me. Like, that's how I feel the most. For the third group is the most questionable. The third, honestly, I'm not sure. I have eliminated some candidates for top three, for the third spot, oh yeah, for top three. But most likely, honestly, top three, most likely, this is not fully sure, but most likely it's gonna be my boys DKB. You know, like, I discovered them during Nanire Work Hard. It was just randomly recommended in my YouTube. But I feel like I dove deeper into the BB world or DKB world last year. Yeah, towards the beginning of last year. I feel like that's when I went like deep. Yeah, so most likely the third group is going to be DKB, and I really care about the members, and I'm really excited to see how they grow over the years. Um, as well as my other groups, of course. But yeah, I think DKB might be my third one. So yeah, that is my current decision for top three. And of course, I love every single group that I've stand in the past, as well as the ones I stand now. Yeah, so those are my collecting plans. So for the rest of my groups, because a lot of my collections, they're almost complete with like, besides my top three, with about like, I'm gonna say like four, like, four or less albums I have left for a lot of my other groups. Honestly, it is kind of sad to like say goodbye, but I think, yeah, it's sad to say goodbye to a lot of the collections, but at the same time, I think it's time. So to decide how I'm downsizing, I have already started, like thinking about what to downsize. So what I'm going to be doing is look through every single album, like literally grab every album one by one, dividing it by groups first, of course. And yeah, going through everything one by one and seeing which albums that I own or like mean the most, like which comeback has like a lot of memories that mean the most to me. I cannot talk. That mean the most to me. Yeah, just comebacks that have like a lot of special memories. And of course, the track list is very important. A lot of music. Of course, I like majority all of the music of my groups, but which track lists are my favorite? Like, which one is mainly like a no skip for me personally, or like maybe even one song. Even if it's just like one song, then that's okay. Also depending on how long the track list is. But yeah, thinking about the music, like even after many years, would I still want to listen to this music? Would I still enjoy it? Also considering the photo book, like I may like an album and their whole track list. However, would I enjoy the photo book? The photo book, the physical album itself. Would I still want to enjoy looking through the pictures? Do I like the concept of that album version photo book that I earned? Yeah, would I look through it? So that is something that I'm keeping in mind, cause like I keep reminding myself, like when I'm looking through like the albums individually, like even I made like this album, like the whole music, like everything. However, I need to keep reminding myself I can always listen to the whole album online. Like, I don't need to have a physical album of it for me to enjoy the music when it's literally everything is online. So yeah, that's also what I'm keeping in mind. I think that's all that I wanted to discuss. This is very long. This is a long video. Oh shoot. Okay, now that it's about 20 minutes, mainly, I think, yeah, now that it's like 20 minutes, this video, maybe I'm not gonna include this in my album shelf tour, now that it went like this long, but yeah, just thinking back and reflecting on my collection, like how much money has gone into this collection reality hitting with like adulting life, having more priorities now, and just focusing on collecting less groups and the ones that have the most impact and special meaning to me. Like, it's going to be really hard downsizing mother groups, but once again, I can always just listen to their music online, and I love the other groups still. So just because I'm downsizing doesn't mean that I don't like those other groups anymore. I love them, and they will always have a place in my heart. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any opinions, feel free to tell me. Like, honestly, everyone's collection is their collection, you know. We all have different ways of collecting, decisions on what we collect. Yeah, but I feel like the way I'm thinking, and like I literally like ranked like how many songs out of every album that had a song that I would skip, like that I don't enjoy as much. So I went really technical. So people may be thinking that, but I think this way of how and having the different categories, like taking in, you know, the photo book, the music, um the members, I guess, as well as like other factors into deciding like what I'm keeping and collecting. Some people may think that that is like technical. I don't know if technical is the right word, but like a very like precise way. Some people may think it's a weird way of like deciding what to collect or like how to downsize, but at the end of the day, it's my collection and my decision. Honestly, this downsizing video or this downsizing process, it's going to be really bittersweet looking at every album and thinking about them, but at the end of the day, it's time. And I know that after downsizing, I feel like a huge weight would be lifted off of my shoulders. And I have been decluttering my other stuff that I own as well that's not K-pop related. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this video. For people who are subscribed to me, for collecting videos, I really apologize. That there is definitely going to be less collecting videos. Yeah. So, you guys can unsubscribe if you guys would like. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do with this channel, what direction it's going to take, but, yeah, I apologize in advance, and I'm sorry. Yeah, I hope you guys understand, my reasoning for downsizing, yeah, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. I will talk about photo cards as well. I'm thinking of maybe making a last updated photo card binder collection, or making it a downsizing my photo card collection video. So if you guys prefer one over the other, feel free to let me know, or comment down below. That's what I meant. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It is a pretty long and lengthy video, but if you guys made it through the whole video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in all my future videos. Bye.